Good afternoon, everyone. This is the market update for buy sell short for Wednesday, April 4th. And what a very interesting couple of days we've had here. This morning, well, last night, really, we woke up to news that China was going to institute a bunch of tariffs on U.S. goods, $50 billion worth, escalating the trade war. Big fear for the market. And we had the futures down 500 plus points. We opened down 400. But there was an interesting thing about this sell-off today. There was momentum all over the place. And when you see that kind of momentum, what ended up happening into the close was not a surprise. We ended up almost 300 points going into the close today. So a 700 plus reversal, the umpteenth 700 point move we've had over the last couple of months. But we're looking here at the Dow daily chart. And you can see yet again, for the third week in a row, the 200-day moving average has held. The fact that it was able to hold this morning is bullish in the near term, and we could see a little rout of the shorts over the next few days. You can see here on the chart, we've got RSI looking to break up above the 50 level. We get a break. Really, just like it was the other day, this line right here, the downtrend line, is right where the 50-day moving average is. So we're about 700 points or so from actually it's less than that now after this move. We're at, 300 points, another 300-point day, and we could have a nice little downtrend break here, and that would really cause the shorts, at least the ones who are still hoping that things dip back down again, to have to cover. If we scroll down a little bit, we're looking at a positive MACD cross here on the Dow chart, and we've got a nice bounce from oversold levels on stochastic. So right now, things look pretty good on the Dow chart. Of course, that's all depends on what gets tweeted tonight. So we live by the tweet, at least the market does. It dies by the tweet. That's the environment we are in right now. We're also going to take a look now at the Russell 2K small cap index, and yet again, the Russell was able to hold above its 200-day moving average, and actually, before that late day blurge up in the market, the Russell, the small caps were leading, and we could tell because there was a lot of action in small caps, and we've had a lot of money come out of the bloated large caps over the last couple of weeks, and that is going to find a home in the small caps. Now, one of the things, if the trade war does blow up or does escalate, the beneficiary of that is going to be U.S. stocks, U.S.-only stocks, not stocks that export anything, stocks that rely on the good old USA. So small caps, even if things escalate, are going to be the place. And, small caps have kind of lagged the giant move we've seen in some of these mega caps over the last few months. So, again, a lot of these charts are beaten up at the bottom. And that's going to be the avenue we're looking at in the coming days, at least in the near term. Now, with regards to the trade war that's ongoing, that big bump up we saw in the last couple of hours because we had news that the U.S. and China were tentatively going to hold talks. If you look at the wording of these tariffs that have been whipsawing the market back and forth, they have not gone into effect. Even though they had an effective date, China's doesn't go into effect till ours goes into effect. And we really haven't put ours into effect yet. So it's just all a lot of blah-blah-blah, chatter, talk. I mean, we saw today that Trump also reversed a decision with regard to autos. He wanted auto parts all to be sourced and made in the U.S. He's backed off on that. And this will probably be another back off for negotiation. And back up will go on the market. But anyway, let's look at a couple of stock charts. We played VXRT yesterday. Low floats continue to be the theme. Low floats and penny stocks tend to do very, very well when we've got dramatic up and down moves like we see in the large cap stocks because there's a little bit of safety, for lack of a better word, in these stocks. VXRT was doing a presentation today. We jumped into this one in the low fives yesterday. After hours, they were bidding this one up at 695. Our target was 650 to 7, and if they gave us a press release, even more. Didn't give it, bled back down with the market. But again, this is a market when you get in a stock and you have a big gain, you take some off the table, you trail your stops to break even or slightly below to make the trade a win-win. That is how you play this market. CRMD, this was a bouncer play that we alerted a couple of days ago. Around 17, 18 cents. The target was a move back to the 20-day, which it hit easily, and it hit as high as 27 cents. 50% move on this bounce play here over the course of a couple of days. These are the kind of trades that should do very, very well for us in the coming days. One we jumped into today was check. It did a reverse split. We played this one a few weeks ago. Did a 1 for 12 reverse split, which means give or take a few shares. The float is about 700 to 800,000 shares on this one. Very, very small. You can see here on this little, what time frame, 15-minute chart, 560 is the bust out level. Now, it would be great if we get a press release on this one. My plan is to swing this one small for a couple of days and see what happens. Again, this is a market. We want to be high or almost cash every night, just depending on what kind of tweet we're going to get or what kind of news we're going to get on this trade war. That does not mean because we're traders, we can always buy these stocks back the next day or chase them a little bit higher if they get news. If they run and we're not able to get in, so what? There's always another stock to trade in this market. Make sure you're booking gains on these pops. Make sure to keep those stops tight. And every weekend, look to go home cash. Those are some solid rules in a market like this. Now, based on the action we saw today and where the indices are setting up, I think we're going to have a very, very good day tomorrow and into Friday in small cap stocks. So that's it for the video tonight, guys. Have a great evening and get ready for some nice action over the next couple of days. Have a great night. Bye.